Hello everyone, this is Mr. Katyusha, and today I have another video. Today I'm playing Napoleon Total War. There's 4 French armies. I'm one of them against 3 British armies and 1 Russian army. I've tried to record this a few times, this battle, but it's crashed a few times, or I just couldn't finish it. Either way, here's the battle. I finally gotten it to work, I guess, or just gotten all the way through. So anyway, we have I'm playing as the French over here. I have Cheshires on my flank, howitzers, 1 unit of that. Over here it looks like Britain is taking the hill, one of the Britons. Russia's starting to attack the hill, so starting off pretty fast, but of course the middle game can sometimes be slow. But this battle is pretty quick throughout the whole thing, I guess, throughout the whole battle. Some troops laying back here. Howitzer shots coming in, hitting some of the British hard. The French have a much more favorable position than the Russians down there, taking a lot of casualties. Now, not using the range of his Jaegers here and getting gunned down by these Fusiliers, which have probably a little more firepower than the Jaegers do, having more troops in their unit. Some Dragoons back here, some Hussars. So pushing up against my friend, Sunray Hero. I have 2 units of Cheshires on the flank here, already getting shots off into the Lightfoot and Coldstream Guards, which Coldstream Guards are a very good unit here. Taking out already about 20 troops there. Horse Guards in the flank, again, another really good British unit. A lot of Foot Guards on this flank, so it's going to be hard to deal with. So many elites here. The Black Watch, so most of his army is very elite. So it's going to be pretty interesting here. So I was hosting, so the rules were 1 artillery, no Grand Battery, and no Unicorn, because Russia with the Unicorn would be really OP, and for France the Grand Battery would be also pretty OP. So I did say 1 arty though. Usually that's not the rules I use or anyone really uses, but it's because this map can get really campy if no one does any. I guess any map can, but this map's pretty campy because of all the good hills and positions. So I wanted to stay away from that. I have an interesting battle, so I allowed 1 art. Lightfoot taking a lot of casualties, about to break over here. Most of their light infantry in the front are. Russia's coming over to support, but not really going all in, and being kind of timid here with the units they push in. Now, that is understandable because he needs troops to defend the flank against Hutch over here, playing as France, but it's going to be hard for the Russians here to hold so many areas with not quite enough troops. Over here, it seems like France is faring kind of well against these troops. It looks like, actually, some 15th Hussars went after the artillery, the 6-pounder foot artillery, which isn't a great unit, so it wasn't too bad to lose, but that's still his 1 artillery piece that he just lost there. So definitely not a good start for this France over here. Now he's starting to lose some of his troops in front, and he's using somewhat of a layer defense, which only is too isn't really useful in Napoleon. It's only like useful in playing Rome 2 or Attila, or a game with melee, mainly melee units. But now you're either going to take casualties from stray bullets, or you're going to fire into your own men in front of you if you have not turned off fire at will. Looks like 10th Hussars here are ready for a charge, moving in to the flank. These Voltiers seem to be out of position, and there's not really much support they have. It looks like they're going for a charge here. Shooting off bullets, a Hussar unit, which this interested me a lot. A Hussar unit that can shoot, which I did not see that before now. Some Lancers coming out, but the damage is already done. Voltiers have already lost a lot of troops, and some friendly casualties. Some guys flying there, which is a bit, a little unrealistic, a little silly, but either way they're losing a lot of troops here. Now the SARs weren't able to break them, but they certainly killed about half the unit there. They're going to charge into stakes here, which isn't the best idea. But they are getting a lot of casualties here. Or not getting casualties, but causing casualties. But taking a lot as well. Now the French are holding strong here, and again, the British on this plateau, there's not much space, and they're using kind of a layered defense as well. Kind of not really camping, but holding the position here. It doesn't seem like they're going to budge anytime soon. Losing a lot of men though, which is not very good for the start here. It's only been not even 10 minutes into this battle yet. We've just killed Picton over here. He went into battle against 2 of my units of Cav, Cheshires, and Dragoons. Losing the general is going to really hurt their morale, and now they're starting to lose a lot of troops. Same with Russia, losing a lot of troops that came over to support. Especially some of the lifeguard here. Very elite units here being killed off. Now, I've shown you in a NTW3 video, which, by the way, I don't know if I said this in the last video, but I'm trying to get that to work. I have to reinstall it, which I already have, but Qt5 files and stuff are missing, so I'm gonna have to get that to work. I know you guys love that. Again, just trying to get that. But in an NTW3 that I've shown, video I've shown before, my friend here, or not technically my friend in the battle, but getting a lot of elites here, and not really too many standard line infantry, so his army was pretty much smaller than mine. Maybe a few units, but here I'm able to outnumber his flank here and win. Which is not good for him. Lifeguards seem like they're pushing in now, maybe to deal with my cab, which is smart. Or maybe it was a misclick, but they're gonna get killed off there. Only 2 of the men left, still charging. Now left to 1. Okay, just got shot by like 50 guys there. That might have been a little bit of overkill, but he's definitely dead. Shots from the British howitzers coming in. 5-inch howitzers. Mine are 6-inch, I believe. I'm not too sure. French do have probably better artillery though than the British. Now, Fusiliers are going to retreat, which is a smart idea, taking a lot of casualties from the light infantry here. Also being outflanked. A huge British charge coming in here. A lot of Dragoons, Horse Guards here. Light Dragoons off to the flank. Now, some Lancers can pose some kind of a threat to these troops. But right now, they're just running right through the troops, not even worrying about the squares, just pushing right through them. The Brave here holding a strong defense. Getting point-blank fire there right into that unit, so doing some damage. Hopefully can hold off these troops from getting to the howitzers, which I believe that is their main goal. Polish Legion don't have enough troops to form a square, so if I was playing a sprint, I'd probably charge right through this unit and get right into the 6-inch howitzer. So definitely not going good. France is losing a lot of their cav. This France over here is about to be outnumbered by the British, moving up more troops. And artillery support, they've lost that, and 9-pounder foot artillery is going to move up, I guess, I'm not sure. Now here is what worried me in this battle. A lot of my troops started running out of ammo, so my only chance was to charge some of their troops, as well as Russia here, being kind of a pain, moving on my flank, which is definitely not what I need right now. Just trying to take out Britain, but moving troops in, taking out a lot of my soldiers, which I do not need. British now losing some of their last units, only about 3 left. Didn't have many to start with, so it was a lot, very big challenge for Britain there. Doing a good job though in taking out a lot of my troops and being somewhat of a meat shield. Now all of my ammo is running out, so it's going to be a lot harder to deal with Russia. Musketeers not forming a square in time, being charged by my Cheshires. I believe they ran out of ammo, so why not just get a good old charge in there. France still holding a hill. Now Russia and this France just kind of go back and forth. Not too many big major routes, not too much ground being taken. Over here, some brave French soldiers are holding out in the house, but I'm not sure how long they'll be able to last in there against more and more British troops coming in. And over here, like I said, the French are running out of ammo and running out of troops as well. The Volunteers won't last very long in battle against the foot, but they did almost break them there. If they had a few more troops, maybe they would have been able to, but wouldn't have done much after that anyway. Howitzer doing a lot of damage to some of the troops here, not so much this unit, which can be very accurate at times, but when it does get a hit, it's very devastating. Cheshire's moving out now, about to get some shots. Russia's retreating here, leaving the British alone to the last man, just kind of stay there and do some damage by themselves. Now Russia has more troops here. He is worrying about Hutch, but he does have enough troops to take on these French. And over here, maybe it was an accident, but he has Cheshires inside of a unit of Fusiliers, so that might do a lot of damage to his own units there, which is a mistake on the hill as well. This Cheshire unit took mainly casualties just from this young guard unit behind them, which is why I usually don't use this formation, because it does do friendly fire, but at the same time, I like to have Cheshires, if it's just light infantry, in a line, without being in light infantry behavior. Old Guard here being surrounded. They will maybe kill these light dragoons. Royal Scots Greys, though, definitely going to be a much harder unit to kill. It's a lot of S's at the end of the word. Royal Scots Greys. Over here, more British troops are coming. The Black Watch should be able to flush the rest of these troops out of the house. The Dutch Grenadiers are a good unit, but they don't have 120 men like the standard unit, so looks like they're going to break there. Same with the Swiss Foot. Not really numbers-wise, but they're not too special of a unit, not too elite. Just a little bit better than the Fusiliers, but not too much better. 12-pounder foot artillery up here on the hill, about to shoot down into the British below. Right now, it looks like Cheshires are getting shots into the flank of some of these Jaegers here, but getting hit in the flank simultaneously by the lifeguard of, or just lifeguard foot. Getting, taking a lot of casualties from that unit in the trees there. Now, I believe they do have more troops in the woods, and it looks like they lost their cannons over here. Charging in my men, most of them have run out of ammo, so taking out this unit of musketeers, moving around the flank here. So I've wiped out the flank, which was nothing too easy at all. So pretty hard actually, but I have taken them out. I've lost about almost half my army there. Not so much units wise, but numbers wise. Foot and the British moving through the trees here, which instead of staying over here, they're letting Britain come over, which is probably something I do as well. Let their ally come over, deal with the flank, and move in and try to take this hill, because this hill is an extremely important area on this battlefield. So it's important that they take it out there. Cannon's doing a lot of damage. As you'll see later in the battle, their canister is super devastating to these troops, and pretty much helps the flank over here. The French are going to start retreating back to the hill soon because they are losing troops. They're losing the flank over here. 2 units against 1. Coldstream Guards and Foot should be able to take on the Swiss unit and beat it. Troops getting ready for a last stand in the house over here. The last remnants of the French army over here. The British standing victorious. The battle now that started more how it usually does is now kind of lopsided. It's kind of on its side, which is interesting. I've only had a few battles that have ended like that, because I took this flank and the Britain over there took their flank, so kind of like chess, taking a piece for a piece. Pretty even right now, even though the balance of power says not. Don't look at that, because it's usually a little off. I mean, you can look at it if you want, but it's usually a little glitchy, so I don't mind it much. Cheshire's moving up to the front, young guard here, and Fusiliers holding the hill. Cannons as well. Looks like the British did get somewhat of a breakthrough through here, but they're about to get wiped out there. So the French, or the British army, is pushing through with some help from the Russians, but they are being beaten back, which is good. We do not want to lose that area before our troops can set up. Troops not holding this hill. Fusiliers have taken a lot of casualties. Now the Russians could push through the center here. It's pretty weak, with maybe these 4 units here push through, but again they're retreating, which I'm not sure why. If they threw everything in and they took this hill, they could do a lot of damage to this French army and maybe even win the battle, but again, just falling back here. Or actually looks like they're pushing up some troops, but still not going all in. Being really cautious here. British holding back here again. If they charged everything in, they would be able to do a lot of damage. King Sherman Legion foot duking it out with the Swiss foot here, but they're outnumbered, so they should be beaten. And the British over here as well, holding back. The attacks were kind of off. If everyone came at the same time on the other team and came in, which is good for us, not so much them. If they came in all together, they'd be able to wipe us out. And taking that hill, like I said, is very important. But not doing that, so I'm not too sure exactly what they're doing. Cheshire's moving on the flank, but again, a lot of my troops have run out of ammo. These units over here are going to run out of ammo pretty soon. Polish Legion and Fusiliers taking on the flank of this lifeguard unit. So now the Russians have lost their flank, or are at least about to. The only thing guarding it is the lifeguard of foot. 5-inch howitzer back here. Only 1 cannon left. Not really hitting anything. Just landing a shot in the middle of nowhere. Now it's pretty much out. I'm not pretty much out, but armies are pretty much taken out, and it's just this hill area left and the surrounding areas that are being fought for. Again, checking back on the map, the battle is starting to become vertical and not so much horizontal as it was before. On the map, at least. It's not like the units are flying into the sky. That'd be a bit weird. France pushing troops outside of their hill position here, which, to say, wasn't really the best area to shoot from. I'm getting a lot of friendly fire, but it looks like they're about to push out and take out the last of the Russians holding the hill here. This house now is taking a lot of damage, and it has 4 units of British soldiers in here, so if we get a hit on this, it will definitely seal the nail in the coffin for pretty much all the nations, especially Britain, though. A lot of troops in here. Hopefully we'll get wiped out. Won't be good for them, but it'll be good for us. Russians have been able now to push back the French, so really good there. But pushing up the hill here should be met by the French and will be taken out, most likely. Both generals up there, or 2 of them out of the original 4. I believe we lost 1 of the generals on the other flanker there. Some artillery pushing up now, so this battle is really interesting. It's been pretty much continuous combat. Over here, a hit taking out a lot of troops here of cannon. Buildings now on fire. They'll get their troops out of there pretty soon, but a couple more hits and this building will come down, and that'll be really good for us. 72% now, so just a few more hits and this building will be nothing but rubble and corpses in there. It seems like they are getting quite a lot of men out, but if we can just hit it a little bit more, just about 2 more hits, and should be a kill. Looks like it bounced off the side there, hitting some troops. Troops are running out of ammo now, charging in to take out lifeguard of foot. Still holding there. I believe this unit might have broken, come back, but should be surrounded pretty quickly and killed. just some militia or Russian Jaegers holding the flanks. Sorry, they look a little bit like the militia. Lightfoot pushing up now into the forest, but we're not there when the Russians were there. So again, not much they can do by themselves here. British still holding back. Looks like they're probably going to have a last stand on this hill. It looks like all the troops left the building, but have taken severe casualties from the bombardment there. A lot of corpses in there. Now, this fight for the forest was definitely really bloody, as you can tell by the carnage in the field. But it wasn't quite enough to defeat the French or the Russians. They're still in the battle, but have lost a lot of casualties by now. The only army really truly left is the British over here. Now, there are some other British, I think, in the battle, but only a few units there. So they still haven't taken the house. It seems like they pushed up slightly, but went back again. Not really any major fighting for the house here. So when the British move in, that'll be interesting if they ever do. Cannons are able to fire over their troops, which is always a pretty good situation. My French soldiers pushing through here. Moscow musketeers holding in this forest here in this wooded area. Should be able to break this unit. Maybe, but a lot of my troops are depleted. But should have enough spirit to take it, or take the unit out. And they're not fighting for a house. Some hussars back here. Still not getting into the battle. Again here, Cheshire's in this formation taking a lot of casualties, a lot of friendly fire, but the Young Guard should be able to clean up some of these British units through the trees. Again, the layer defense here, only getting friendly fire, only getting kills with your own units, which never really works, which is some of the mistakes that the British troops make and the Russians. So it's really important here that the Russians and British can take the hill, but right now it's not looking good at all for these troops here. Much the line battle, but taking a lot of casualties, which is definitely not good at all. Here they are. So it's important that they're able to hold, but still not really much they can do. I'm moving up my howitzers, which should help, charging up my general. So it's really important that we're able to hold them off here. Howitzers back here still firing, but I'm not sure they've done too much damage at all. Now they have moved the troops out of the house, I believe. I'm not sure if they destroyed it or not. I can't see what percentage it is at, so I'm guessing they destroyed it. Looks like they did get some troops out, but a lot have died also, which is not good for our flank here. Our troops are running here, and it's looking pretty even right now, which is definitely not good. I'm running out of ammo. My allies are running out of ammo. And the battle is coming very close here, but we do have a slight upper hand terrain-wise, tactical-wise, I guess. French dragoons on the flank could seal the battle here if they're able to push through. Now, the British are not pushing up, they're staying back, which is not really exactly what you want in this scenario. We're moving up our artillery, and we can just bombard them all day if we have to, if they do not move out. So this isn't exactly the longest battle, but it is definitely one of the most action-packed ones I've had in a while. General Staff charging in. It looks like this unit of Moscow musketeers here, the MVP of the Russian army, taking on about 4 or 5 of my units here, which is pretty amazing, but also taking a lot of casualties themselves. themselves, I guess. Canister firing in here, which broke quite a lot of British troops, which I'm pretty sure why he fell back. Or he just did because he didn't want to stay and fight there. And wanted more of a better position, but taking some casualties there from what I call long-range canister. Rallying some of his troops there. Sir John Moore over here. So we've had some pretty big names in this battle. Picton and Moore over here. Just a regular general over there, so nothing too special. Both of our generals here, I believe it's Hutch and Ryan, I'm not too sure. Charging in here, about to take out this howitzer. Now, it is just a small unit with not too many men left, but it's been a little bit of an annoyance, and we don't want any good hits that could take out some troops. So, gonna take them out there. Now, we might go for the flank here. Don't want to lose my general, but it doesn't really matter at this point, because I've taken a ton of casualties, and I only have about 2 units left. All I really need to do is support my allies with my artillery, and do some damage here, fast forwarding it. Not much happened in this point, we're just advancing, moving up artillery, killing quite a lot of their troops. So very action-packed and bloody battle here. My general dies, which is kind of big, but at this point I don't really have enough men left, so it doesn't really matter too much. Now we kill their general. Back here it looks like some dragoons got around the flank, taking on their artillery and their general. So this is a really big point in the battle. That general and the artillery could have really changed the tide of battle for them, but now all they have left is bad morale and no artillery support. So this is going to be a really hard challenge for the British. Now all of my infantry pretty much by now is breaking, but I still do have my howitzer, and that's pretty much all I need at this point. Here, I'm not too sure what's going on here, which is why I fixed my artillery here. 42nd Foot and King Sherman Legion Foot are standing literally side by side as the loud howitzer shells come in, and they're getting friendly fire. It's like shooting your friend right and exactly in front of you, pretty much hitting them with your bayonet when you fire. So I'm not too sure. Getting a lot of friendly fire here, getting hits really close, but looking for more direct hits, which I do get some, and take on a lot of troops, or take out a lot of troops. But howitzers are pretty bad accuracy-wise, but like I said, getting hit can do a lot of damage just like right there, taking out about 10 troops from both units there, which is really good. Now we're running out of skirmishers, so taking out theirs is going to be a really good for us. Everyone's starting to run out of ammo, getting another good hit there, which is really good. Running out of troops here. It looks like we've actually broken their unit of foot guards there. So going pretty good for us. Looks like dragoons are going to get in the flank, and the foot has no time to react. It did not see it coming through the trees, which is really good. The French player doing a great job here with its dragoons, allowing troops to move up while they have to react to this. So really good job of them there. French moving through the blood-soaked fields here. The forest filled with corpses and the dead. So definitely a very bloody battle, especially for the forest area here. Multiple attacks, but none of them really paid off. They were so close, but not really much they could do. So their last hope is just to hold as long as they can over here. Now they might be able to get a lot of kills, maybe even break a lot of units, but there's not really any way they can totally kill off our army. There's just too many men, and they're running out of ammo now. Looks like the Russian troops are running out of ammo, taking a lot of casualties, charging forward here. Poor Russians. Felix to lay yourself in line, taking out these 2 units of musketeers here, or should be able to at least. Losing their general was definitely not good for them. Fuse leaders of line there. taking fire from the foot, but moving up this flank. My howitzer shots are still getting a lot of damage on these troops on the flank. My light foot back here, I believe they've run out of ammo now, so not too useful. Battle is wrapping up pretty soon, pushing up the flank here, pushing into their main defenses. Well, I'm not sure we killed their general, but their general's dead either way. That's pretty interesting. I believe he was in a light foot unit. I'm not sure, but I don't think he was a regular general unit, which can pay off sometimes if you have one extra unit of infantry, but they are probably a little more easily to kill in some ways. The general over here unscathed, pushing in with his troops. Let's see here, pushing through with Polish Legion, Young Guard. Some hussars here charging into the flank of the final British soldiers. Looks like once these 3 units over here of British troops break, that will be the battle. So a really bloody battle, a bit action-packed. It was really fun to play. Looks like the foot is about to break here. So that's the battle there, shattering the units. It was pretty close, actually really close at the end. I mean, it wasn't just like 2 units, but they definitely had a chance there to break us, but just didn't work out. I lost a lot of troops, almost my entire army, as you saw there. Especially this player right there. Don't want to butcher the name, but he deployed a little bit more than me and, well, lost more than me, being in the fighting there, as well as Bot deploying the same amount of troops. I killed the most, 2,000, which is a lot, fighting both the Russian and most of the Russians and most of the British there. But anyway, did a really good job. Everyone did a pretty good job here. British and Russians just had opportunities, but never really went for them. Now, some armies did, some players did, but in the end it just didn't work out. We got the victory. That's a lot of kills. Wow, Old Guard getting 245, which is quite a lot. But anyway, it's a really good battle. Thanks to all the players for playing here. And anyway, see you guys next time. Leave a like and subscribe, and have a good day or good night, whatever time it is.